Every generation has its sound. When historians look back on the day, they will recognize metal and punk as the sound that defined this moment in time and paved the way for an awesome future. As a true metalhead, it is my duty to explore and understand the mosh pit. So I set out on a journey to find out more about the pits we love so much. This phenomenon culminates in the greatest event in which one can take part, the mosh pit. This is music that transcends the mind, taking over one's corpus and causing extreme violence like no music before or since. I made some badass new friends and learned a ton of cool shit that I will share with you today. My name is Stephen Noble, and this is the Moshumentary! It's a shameful, the spectacle of the place. All ground shall we swarm in the conspicuous disguise.
No matter who you talk to, everyone's got an opinion about mosh pits.
Pretty crazy. I think they're pretty unreal.
They're fun.
It's a real sense of community, you know?
Mosh pit.
Quite a fun endeavor.
Your heavy metal is like that very aggressive, dark energy, basically.
I've heard horror stories.
El mosh pit started when a guy was trying to fight for a taco, and then they just all got together and they started kicking each other's ass, and it's become just a rock and roll thing.
I wanted to hear from people who actually knew what they were talking about, so I sought out some experienced moshers.
So, what do you want to know? If it's something kind of groovy and intense, then like circle goes good. If it's something chaotic and crazy, great. What's not to love about them? I mean, they're high energy, you get pumped up, and it's a great way to release your inner stress and anger.
Wham, like bam, like just mashing each other, pushing each other. Some people get their noses broken. Flux, and it's just so cool.
Like the power of the song and how you're reacting to it. I really like mosh pits. I try to get in there, right into the middle of it, whenever there is one. I don't know if it's been laid down in the book, but I've seen it happen. It's when somebody falls down, you just help them up.
Just puked on this little girl. It was just, why was she at the Disturbed show? I don't know. I ate half an apple pie off my grandmother's windowsill and went into a mosh pit. Who is the mosh pit?
A mob mentality, like if you look at the crowd of people going after Frankenstein, you know, one person started the idea and then it just kind of kept going because everyone else was doing it. And I just started getting really lightheaded, fell to the ground, kind of got stepped on and stomped on, managed to kind of crawl my way off to the side, and I just kind of sat there like this. Fun as hell. It's fun as hell, and there's nothing quite like it. You can't beat it.
The feeling that you get from leaving a mosh pit is a lot different from if you were just viewing and you didn't participate. Just dove off the stage, my friends caught me. I kind of crowd surfed on top of them. It was fun.
You know, mosh pits are great. They're a big part of what metal has to offer, death metal, what have you. It's been a big part of the music for a very long time. Yeah, the energy. You know, when you're playing on stage and you have your fans screaming, going wild, and you see that energy and that movement, it really gets you amped up. One time, I saw this kid, and he was in the mosh pit, and he's jumping around, and I'm just kind of wording the words to his face, and I said, "Punch that kid beside you," you know, kind of giving it, mouthing that to him, and he got it, and he actually turned and punched the kid beside him, and I thought that was pretty hilarious and awesome. Slam dancing is great. You know, it was here before the mosh pit, and it's something we all have to pay our respects to. Something happened after slam dancing. A guy by the name of Roger Moshman actually came along, and he perfected it. You know, he put in the time to really push it in the right direction, and it became the mosh pit. That's where it came from.
What? Roger Moshman? Hold the phone. I'd never heard of him. Everyone knows it was Greg Patowski who invented the mosh pit. I mean, Patowski. Patowski!
Greg Patowski. Greg Patowski.
I'm pretty sure it was Greg.
Yeah, it was Greg. For sure it was Greg.
Mosh pit.
Greg Patowski.
A guy called Greg Patowski?
I remember hearing a story when I was playing at the Cobalt in Vancouver about Patowski, who, you know, everyone knows, kind of famous for being the spearhead of the mosh movement. But I don't know, there's been waves of this moshman guy. I don't know if that's true. But I think sometimes a fable is better left untouched. Why do something to change what everyone loves? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like, did the moon landing exist? Well, whatever. We think it did. And who was the first man on the moon? Maybe it was Vikings. For all we know, I don't really care. But the story of Armstrong and Aldrin, it works and it's nice and it's pretty. So why do I care? You know, and I think it's kind of the same for the whole moshman thing.
People, like, there's people on both sides, you know, like, there's tons of people that have shed blood over this situation, you know, who invented it, like, you know, like, fucking 2 people, 2 sides, 2 facts, bunch of facts, actually, tons of facts, shitloads, and they all keep piling up, and you just gotta wonder, who did it?
And this Patowski motherfucker comes along and puts his name on it and says he started it, and it's bullshit because it was Roger.
I think it was some guy named Roger. I can't remember his last name.
It's Roger Moshman, dude.
A guy named Roger Moshman. A lot of people think it's this other guy. I'm gonna name him. Most people know who he is, but Roger Moshman was part of a punk movement in the 80s.
Okay, well, everyone seems to think it's this guy named Greg Patowski, but that's not the case. Back in the day, it was a guy named Roger Moshman, and man, like, I don't know what the hell happened to him. He kind of fell off the face of the radar, but he was the guy who just kind of, like, there's videos of him just kind of pushing people around, and then it kind of got bigger and bigger, and I don't know who invented the term mosh, but he definitely was the one who started the first mosh pit.
I went to go see a professional.
Hello, my name is Dr. Oakes. I have a PhD and a master's in moshology. I am also an understudy of Roger Moshman, who was also known as the inventor of the mosh pit, also known as moshing, as we all know it today. As you can see from these pictures, moshing has been reinvented throughout the ages. People throw their hands in the air. People throw horns, their fists. The bigger the band, such as Iron Maiden, the bigger the pit. More things happen in the mosh pit than you'd expect, especially at an Iron Maiden concert. As a specialist in moshology, I'll be demonstrating some various forms of mosh pitting. Exhibit A, Wall of Death. Side A collides with Side B. As so. Exhibit B, we have the circle pit. Everyone starts running around in one direction. What is not recommended is standing in the middle. What is also not recommended is going the opposite way, for it is very bad form. Throughout the ages, moshing has changed. From the late 70s, where it was just 4x4 signatures, to the modern era, where nothing makes sense with various time signatures and offbeat. We would not be what we are today in mosh pitting without Roger Moshman.
I couldn't wait anymore. It was time to go see this legend, this Roger Moshman. I convinced Dr. Oak to give me Moshman's address, and after many days and nights, I arrived at his door.
This is Moshman's house. I'm gonna go knock the door. Mr. Moshman? Roger Moshman? Is it really you?
Who are you?
The world needs to know that you're the inventor of the mosh pit. I'm here to set the record straight.
It's not me.
No, you're Roger Moshman. Dr. Oaks told me you're Roger Moshman.
Well, I think the whole thing is so ridiculous. Do you understand how dangerous mosh pits are? That I started mosh pits, my idea was nosh pits. I thought that the kids would be tired, they'd want something to eat, they would relax around the front of the stage. Next thing you know, the kids are going like this. Go away!
Yeah!
Yeah!
That was awesome! Roger Moshman! Yeah!
What a journey! I've experienced what few have. Moshing with the creator himself, Roger Moshman. I feel as if he was passing me the torch. I will carry on his legacy, and I call on my fellow moshers to help create an awesome, violent future, just like Roger Moshman intended. Mosh on, my friends!
This is a message to Patowski. If you ever happen to watch this, I will find you. And I will kill you.
Roger Moshman? A mosh pit? Because of a guy named Moshman. Typical American bullshit. Little band called the Sex Pistols. That was badass. That's at a time when you couldn't legally in England say the word sex without the bobbies rapping on your door, kicking it down and putting the boots to you and throwing you in a bloody dungeon. If you whispered to your wife, hey, let's have some sex, she would call the fucking cops on you and they would come and stick the dicks in your eye. That's the way things were. Those were real punks going up against the system where they was fucking them in the ear daily. And then these Americans come along and think they're fucking punks. Then they make what? Metal. Let me tell you what, you ever heard of a guy that